kick me right back. Sun so bright, it burns my neck. There's a train that's coming, and boy, it's coming fast. Time and time the trains pass by going, chill, chill, chill. They say all aboard to girls and boys that are just like you. Oh, the train keeps coming, the train keeps coming like chill, chill, chill. Oh, the train keeps coming, the train keeps coming for walking holes into my shoes. So the more I walk, the more I start to lose. Oh, I'm all clean, no room to fail. But if I see that train, I might end up back in jail. Time and time the trains pass by going, chill, chill, chill. They say all aboard to girls and boys that are just like you. Oh, the train keeps coming, the train keeps coming like chill, chill, chill. Oh, the train keeps coming, the train keeps coming for yeah, yeah, yeah. Time and time the trains pass by going, chill, chill, chill. They say all aboard to girls and boys that are just like you. Oh, the train keeps coming, the train keeps coming like chill, chill, chill. Oh, the train keeps coming, the train keeps coming for yeah, yeah, yeah. Your color's fading, 'cause I kept you waiting. It's a wild, wild world, and you're a wild, wild girl. The sun's still shining, but it seems half the size, and it's a wild, wild world out here. Before my time runs out, what if I run away to Mars? Would you find me in the stars? Would you miss me in the end if I run out of oxygen? When I run away to Mars, I can't tell which way's home. I've been gone for so long, it's an empty world up here. I skip stones and wonder how long till I'm discovered. It's a quiet life out here. Before my time runs out, what if I run away to Mars? if I run away to Mars? Would you find me in the stars? Oh, would you miss me in the end if I run out of oxygen when I run away to Mars? Mama, if you need me, I'll be in Hollywood. I'll be in Hollywood. I had to fly to the star-studded town. I always had people try to shoot me down. You won't last, they said. It won't change. No matter how hard you try, your life will stay the same. Oh, I'm still here, waiting to walk the walk of fame. Oh, the sky is clear. I'll have my own star someday. Mama, if you need me, I'll be in Hollywood. I'll be in Hollywood. Mama, if you need me, I'll be in Hollywood. I'll be in Hollywood. I always try to be fair and stay proud. Find me in your bed, living fast and loving loud. You will change, they said. This is a game. No matter how hard you try, they'll never scream your name. Oh, I'm still here, waiting to walk the walk of fame. Oh, the sky is clear. I'll have my own star someday. Mama, if you need me, I'll be in Hollywood. I'll be in Hollywood. Mama, if you need me, I'll be in Hollywood. I'll be in Hollywood. It's all the same, only the names will change. And every day feels like we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted, dead or alive. I'm wanted, dead or alive.
I'm Ayisha Jaffer. I'm hanging out in the studio today with Talk. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, that's me.
This is Talk. I'm
Hi.
so glad that you're here.
Yes.
Came from Toronto.
Toronto flew in, yes.
Just for us today.
Just for you.
Oh, I feel so special.
Specifically for this moment.
Such a beautiful session. I'm excited to have that shared with everyone.
Yes.
Your voice is incredible. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. That's so sweet.
So we're going to dive in.
Yeah, ask me anything.
Talk. So Talk, I have to ask if that is a character, if that is you, or a combination of both.
I think it's a combination. I like a lot of alone time and personal time and friend time and stuff, but I'm generally loud, obnoxious, and I don't shut up.
It's my favorite kind of person.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's me, and that's what Talk is. It's just like a little brighter, a little louder, a little every, 20% more of everything, but it's me.
That's great. So I like 20% more of everything. So instead of, you're going to change the game from turn it up to 11 to turn it up 20%.
20%.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you are an artist of great proportions. You play so many different musical instruments, from piano, banjo, mandolin. I want to talk about the mythology behind
I'm very
the future
mediocre
legend.
at everything. Though. I'm not by any means a god at anything. But I do play. Yes.
So I'm curious. Was it a self training, or what got you into this plethora of tools for music?
Mostly ADHD, I would say. I couldn't really sit still. My parents bought me a drum set. Awful idea. I was 4 or 5. You don't buy the kid that can't sit still a drum set because you're just going to drive yourself insane. But they put up with it for a while, and then I got bored, switched to piano. I had a very traditional piano teacher she'd hit my fingers with a pencil if I hit a wrong note.
Oh, no.
It was very strange. She's a great lady. Fantastic, nice lady. Madame Dwyer, I'm sorry. I'm not talking bad about you if you're watching. I'm scared of her. And then switched to guitar. Banjo seemed like a funny thing to do in high school, so I played that enough to accompany myself. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm not a virtuoso by any means on anything, but enough to make music and make friends, I guess. Yeah,
creating and jamming and all those things, they bring people together, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're playing all these instruments. I heard that you were in a country band as well.
Yeah, I played bass in a country band for a short period of time, end of high school, first year college. And that is definitely when I knew that I wanted to be at the front of the stage. That's when I knew that. But it was a good experience. It was fun. That's how I met my guitar player, co-producer, best friend, a million other things, Connor, who was just in here playing. And we make every song together now. And I don't think we would have done that without that country band. So,
oh, that's amazing.
Still thankful.
Well, somewhere in between there too, you did some songwriting and producing for other artists and other musicians, and I'm just curious, kind of how that progressed from country band to that, and then to creating your own project.
Yeah, I think I got in. I self-produced for a very long time, and I still co-produce. But I needed to have some income during that time when I was making my own. So to offset the cost of the studio for my own stuff, I'd volunteer to engineer and produce and work on other artists. And in my small town, it wasn't anything serious. And I really enjoyed the process of collaborating, and that's kind of how I knew I wanted to do it on a bigger scale. And our hometown, which is Ottawa, Canada, became a little bit too small to find the right collaborators. So I moved to Toronto.
And so is there anything or anyone you've worked with that we would have heard of?
For my own stuff, maybe, I don't know. But for other artists, I don't think, not really, no. Not yet.
Well, okay. You're the biggest thing we know now.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah. I worked with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I worked with myself.
And it's amazing. So then, okay, so you're working country, you're a songwriter, you're making money, doing things that you love.
Very minimal money. Minimal money.
Some.
Yeah, enough to survive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's actually a huge feat as an artist, I feel like. So then what was it? What was the fire that ignited, I'm going to create this project, Talk?
So Talk goes back probably 10 years this year. So while I was doing all that stuff in the small town, it was still Talk. It just wasn't. I recorded a 20-song album, spent a whole bunch of money, and then deleted all the files, and I didn't like it. And so I don't even know where those are. I doubt there's any copies of them anywhere. But that was still Talk, and that was 2013, 2014, 2015. And then it just kind of progressed. I didn't really know who I was, I think. I spent a long time trying to pretend I was something I wasn't or someone I wasn't. And then eventually I just got so lazy that I gave up on that and just decided to be myself. And that's what took, it took the 8 years of learning and working with different people and writing a million songs to figure out what I wanted to say and who I was and what I was about. And now we're kind of there.
I mean, finding that self-awareness too is like this huge, long journey. So
it was crazy, yeah.
10 years is small in the scheme of things, I think.
I wish it would have been quicker.
Of course.
Because I wasted a lot of time, but I'm really happy with where I got and who I am. And the message I'm putting out, it's full of love and positivity. And I think that's something that people like Chris Martin of Coldplay did for me.
Yeah.
He made me feel good and feel safe and made me love myself more, and that's what I want to do for other people. And I think, especially with Runaway to Mars, the feedback I've gotten is that I'm doing that for other people, and so that was really the original goal.
Yeah, and your guiding principle, I read about it, and I think it's fantastic to be able to know, like, you're coming from love to everyone because you don't know what they're going through or where they're coming from. So how has that North Star guided you through this process?
I think kindness is really important, and I mean, everyone has bad days. I have bad days where maybe I'm not the nicest and stuff, but I think generally, it's important to spread love, and you give love, you get love back. And through kind of the last 3 or 4 years specifically, meeting a lot of people and making a lot of new friends and collaborators and stuff, I think that's been the most important thing for me and my team, and the people I've surrounded myself with, management and all that kind of stuff, they all feel the same way. And band, my live band is incredible, and they have the same vision of being kind and being nice, and I think it's served us really well, and I think a lot of people respect that. And
and I heard this. You guys all live in the same house. Your whole band.
Yeah, majority of us. Yeah. Drummer, guitar player, Connor, my drummer Carter, and my bass player Waylon stays there when we have stuff going on, and myself. And we live with a guy named Drew who does all like my content with me and marketing, and so it's kind of like a work house / and all our girlfriends, like a bunch of our girlfriends live there. So.
Oh, that sounds like
it's quite
a
the
blast.
packed house. It's quite the packed house. It's not a big house. It's very moderately. It's a single family home and converted Airbnb. So there's a lot of rooms, but
creative place, and then like you have to have that love, to live in a space like that and create all the time. And I think that's wonderful. I kind of was hoping you were going to say Drew, and Drew just hangs out on the couch.
I mean, he does that too, but we work together on a lot of things. So.
Well, you touched on Runaway to Mars, which we're, of course, playing at the Current, and it went #1 to Triple. This is my brag section for you. #1 to AAA radio in the U.S. Gold in Canada. That's your home country.
I think it's a platinum.
It's
in Canada,
platinum.
Gold in Sweden. Gold in Norway.
Yeah. So you got to visit Sweden and Norway.
I was there earlier this year. I had 1 day in each place.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I wish I could have stayed longer. I loved it there.
Well, you have a future there now, for sure.
The people were so amazing, so kind.
And then virally global, top in those charts.
Yeah.
So how do you feel?
I feel good. I put the song out in 2021, and I mean, it sounds cockier maybe a little bit, but I thought it was going to have the reaction that it had when it kind of got its second life. When I first released it, but the infrastructure just wasn't there to support that. I mean, I was unsigned, I was independent, I was like everything. It was really, we recorded it in Connor's basement. Like the odds were against us to get it out, and it still caught the attention of enough people. And then we built on that, and eventually the snowball got big enough to kind of get some global viral stuff. I mean, it's great. I think it's now become bigger than me. It doesn't really belong to me anymore. It belongs to everyone else, which is what, I mean, any artist I'm sure would want their song to matter so much to so many people. And that was really touching. I was getting hundreds of DMs when it really blew up, and it was like, I didn't end my life because of this, or I told someone how I felt, and that was the whole message of the song. And so that was really rewarding. And I mean, I can't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
Just more, if more people hear it, that's great. Like my kind of, I've sent it off, Yeah. It's on its own journey now.
I love that. And I saw in the video, I'm hunting for Easter eggs a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Saw the Weezer logo in that empty pool.
Yeah. There was so much discussion. It was like, there's a Weezer one and there's like a Led Zeppelin one, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And they were like, should we take these out? Like, cause they were just in the skate park. They just happened to choose that location. And then I guess we decided not to.
I was just like, are you sending out the bat signal, like go on tour with Weezer?
I mean, that'd be sick. We actually Connor played Rivers' guitar, right? Yeah,
nice,
at the
yes.
studio. So he was playing all the iconic Weezer riffs on the guitar they recorded on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which was a cool moment for us.
Well, so all of this has happened before your debut album has come out.
Yeah.
And which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's so exciting. Mm-hmm. So is there anything you can, I mean, I know like this is that age-old question.
It's a push-pull thing.
Is there anything you can tell us?
I think it's good. You know, I'm really hard on myself. Like I told you, I deleted 20 songs after spending my life savings on them, and it just wasn't good enough. And I really feel like this is really good. And I'm really happy with pretty much everything. We're just like trying to finish it up and figure it out, and you know, it's another story I want to tell, and it's a bit of a narrative album, and I got a lot I want to say, and I'm trying to find the best way to say it. But right. I think it's good, and I think people are going to really like it.
Yeah. Is there like a 2023 release? Can I ask?
I mean, if everything goes to plan, I think it should come out this year.
Right.
For sure.
And did you work on it in that house or?
No, actually, not really. I did it in Los Angeles, with a guy named Justin Tranter, who's absolutely fantastic. He kind of executive produced it. Our friend Sam Homey is producing it with a couple other friends. And we did it. Me and Connor did it together too.
That's amazing.
We've done pretty much every song since 2017.
Oh, is there a dream? Okay, I have to ask. I know you talked about Chris and Coldplay.
Chris Martin.
Is there a dream collaboration on this record? Maybe it's already on the record, but...
At this point, there's no collaborators on this record, like artist collaborators,
mm-hmm.
No features or anything. I kind of want to keep it like that. You know, I think it's like, this is all stuff I really want to come from me. And this, like, we've seen this kind of space captain character that Talk is, and then I think it's like time for that to evolve into somebody different and be a new kind of bigger and beautiful and bright kind of character.
Bigger than space.
Bigger than space.
I like that.
I think Chris Martin and Coldplay is, that one for me is like even more than the music. It's like, you know, someone that really changed my life. And so that one, I still think about what I would say to him. Like, I would stay up at night and think about, like, what would I even say to the guy? Mm-hmm. I still don't know. I've thought about it a lot. I still don't know what I would even say to him. But it's probably for the best. I don't know. I'm probably going to say something dumb. But I think he's the real king for me. And then, I don't even know who else. There's a band called Ghost that I really love.
Yeah.
And I think that we share a lot of this like theatrical nature. The music's obviously a bit different. But he's one of my favorites. Yeah. I
think with Chris, you could just let him talk first, maybe.
Yeah, he's kind of like a solemn, quiet guy. I feel like I'd just be saying shit. That's why I like Talk is the name. You know, I'd just be shooting. Yeah. It would, yeah. So you I can't even think about it now. I lock up. I can't think about it too much.
Yeah, don't think about it.
No.
So, well, you touched on this a little bit, but I know TikTok is part of the story a lot for the conversation on Runaway to Mars specifically, and just like in general on recent talk, because obviously you've been working at this for 10 years. Mm-hmm. Now, when things go viral, from my perspective, I feel like that's when people resonate with your music so much that they uplift you and put you to the forefront. Mm-hmm. And I think that's so amazing and special. Yeah. So I'm just curious, in your process as an artist, what has it been like to socially engage like throughout that entire kind of process of talk? Yeah, I mean, at first there was like years and years ago, there wasn't much interaction, but as soon as Mars came out, I mean, I was making TikToks for a couple of years, like a year and a half, probably doing covers and tons of stuff with no results at all. You know, a couple hundred views. And then I put out House of the Rising Sun, like my version of it, which did really well. And then I was like, oh, people like what I'm doing. Maybe I should put music out. And so the next week I teased Mars. Meanwhile, the song wasn't done. It wasn't mixed. It wasn't mastered. It wasn't anything. And people were demanding it. And then it took me a long time to get that done. I think nowadays the music industry really relies on the social side of things. And I think there's a lot of beauty to it. If you enjoy creating that kind of stuff, I think I enjoy the interaction.
I've been doing like I've been going like live on TikTok a lot. I've actually had more fun doing that than making TikToks, but it's kind of it's part of the artist experience now. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people just do it to do it. I'm kind of in between. I think it's a great tool. I mean, it obviously helped me a ton, so I can't just discredit it completely. But I think it can be really challenging for a lot of people because it's kind of like an additional side of things that requires a lot of effort and time. But I do agree that for music right now, consumers that are listening and fans really get to decide on what everyone hears. And I think that that's a cool thing. And I think as a fan, if I really love something, I'm going to show all my friends.
Yeah.
And so I think good music, it's still the same as it always was, is good music will find its way.
Absolutely.
A hit song is a hit song is a hit song is a hit song.
Yeah, and I just love that it's more direct to fans. They get to choose, like you said.
Yeah.
And they chose you.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad.
I'm thankful for it.
Well, so I saw something fun on social media, on your Twitter, that a color guard group kind of dressed after your style. And which to me,
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I want to mention that because I think your style is amazing, and the artwork and visuals you create are beautiful. And I think Vogue is like in your future.
Maybe. We'll see. That'd be sick.
We kind of were talking just before the interview that your partner, your girlfriend, she works on your style. I mean, I was going to ask about the inspiration behind the style and the artwork.
Yeah, I kind of like fell into this like thing of wearing overalls like a few years ago, and then I just ended up buying all these white overalls, and she dyes them and kind of makes them look nice, and sometimes she puts little notes in here. There was a little note in here, but it fell out. But she'll stitch a little note for like what the event is or something. And then she also designed my spacesuit, or helped design my spacesuit, co-collaborated, that a designer named Perry in LA built. And she's amazing. She's the best.
And makeup too?
Makeup was kind of like, it evolved. There was a star originally for the music video, and now it's kind of evolved into this foil thing. But that's, I think, going to change too. I think we're going to see a new evolution of all that.
Ever evolving.
I'm still trying to figure it out because I don't want to mess it up. It was kind of a very... It was a really good decision to kind of go with something like that, so I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and obviously an entire color guard has been inspired by.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, seeing people at shows with it. Like, I've seen. Yeah, there was somebody told me in my hometown that somebody had gone as me for Halloween. Oh, they like dressed up and had a star and had like all this stuff. I never saw a picture. I don't know who they were, but if you see this cool Halloween costume,
and send us a picture.
Yeah. It was like through like 3 word of mouth.
I love that.
Someone told a teacher that taught me in high school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. Thank you, Talk, for being in the studio here at the
Thanks
Current.
for having me.
The debut album might be coming out this year.
Yeah, we'll see. More to come on that.
More to come.
And back to you.
The Current is public media made possible thanks to member support.